Everybody, happy Sunday fun day. Man, I've had some windshield time today. We zigzagged around Knoxville a little bit this morning, came all the way out to Sunbright to look at a big 40-acre parcel of land that we'll be listing here soon, and then headed out to good old Deer Lodge, deep Deer Lodge. Actually, probably the deepest in Deer Lodge I've ever been, in that area of Deer Lodge, I guess, which is the west side. Definitely past the Amish horse and buggy going on the road there. That horse was going like 20 miles an hour. I think it was flying. So I went out and looked at a big 50-acre parcel with a nice 4-year-old manufactured home, big detached 2-car garage, and a giant, like a 30, I think he said it was, 40 by 60 steel building there. To give them some numbers out. So I got to get them some numbers. And also West Knoxville have a house coming with about an acre on a 3-bedroom, 1-bath on an acre right off of Western Avenue. You don't really see that much or in that area often. But let's talk about what I'm talking about in the video here. All right, so I'm go ahead and tell you I'm gonna piss off a lot of real estate agents with this video. It is what it is, right? Because what's going to happen here is, and I'm not talking about the agents that were doing it already good and serving their clients, and there's a ton of them, right? There's a ton of great agents out there that do the right thing, that are in it to help people. However, there's a lot of shitty ones out there that are in it for the payday, and in it for the sales, and in it for the conning, and in it for the scripts and all this stuff. There's a ton of those. With this new law change, right? I've done tons of videos on, hopefully you've seen them, you understand it. These new law changes, it is correct, it is true. I done a video last week. I was actually real pissed off last week about it because it was just a nightmare already. Like it was, I mean, there's just so much gray and interpretation with all this stuff and how it was all playing out. Like I kind of thought it was as well, like a buyer's rep agreement. You know, that's kind of scary, right? We don't do that. Or I guess we do. I'll get into what we do. But anyways, we didn't do that before, right? We didn't sign no up firm agreements. We didn't have a contract. Now, a lot of the agents and teams and especially large corporations on the real estate side, they did it, right? It was a sales practice. They're in the sales world. Well, we're in this to help people. We're in it for the relationships. We're like making friends. And as well as, I think that's a scary thing, right? I wouldn't want to meet a stranger and then be like, hey, sign this, 3-month agreement, this 6-month agreement, this 12-month agreement. We just met. You don't know if they're a piece of shit or not. You don't know if they answer their phone on weekends and even show you houses. You don't know anything about them. You can see the reviews. I always encourage you to look at the reviews online. You can see their experience. That stuff plays into it. But ultimately, I know a lot of agents that's been in the business way longer than I have, arguably on paper more successful than I am, and they suck. They suck at communicating. They suck at communicating with me. I know they do shitty things behind their client's back because I see it. Now, is the client going to see it? No, absolutely not. They're going to probably make me look stupid whenever I know that they're the one that's being the shady person. But anyways, for clarification, and that's what I'm doing this video, right? If you are looking to buy a home, because this is what we're gonna do. It made sense. We implemented this on Friday. We've been doing it now the weekend. We have had one buyer that said not interested, and I knew we're gonna have that, right? And I don't blame any buyer, right? When that happens, we don't say, oh, well, here, let's talk you into doing it. No, we say, hey, completely understand. I wish it wasn't like this. I truly do. I wish it wasn't like this. Completely understand. No worries. Listen, here's what we do, right? So if you ever do want to reconsider, just call us back, right? We're never going to bug you. We're never going to bother you. We want you to just have the information, right? Because what's going to happen is that person's going to call someone else and thinking that we're probably lying, because I would probably. And then that person's going to go out there. Well, that agent's probably going to do what all the trainings, what all the scripts, what all the real estate coaches and the gurus are going to teach, which is get that buyer's rep signed. That buyer's rep is going to hold you to a contract. That's going to hold you to a certain amount of pay. It's going to hold you from preventing you from exploring other real estate agent options, from essentially getting other representation if you think they suck. It might hold you to certain fees. They may pay, you may have to pay them per showing. They may make you pay retainers, and then of course if they, you know, make you pay them within contracts, and sometimes an absurd amount of money in fees. Well, we have the ability, and this is all legal, to basically do what is called touring agreements or showing agreements, right? This gives us the ability to basically, we do have to sign it. We have to sign it. You have to sign it. And it can be for one day, right? Hey, listen, hey, you want to walk in this house? And of course, we're not just going to like meet a stranger and be like, hey, you got to sign. Like, we're going to like tell you, hey, here, you know, we're going to send you the links. Hey, listen, review all this stuff. Here's all the changes. You know, we do have to have this agreement. We'll see you there, right? And so people are aware of it before we meet them. But still, it's a scary, intimidating thing. You know, we'll do it. We'll sign it. It doesn't hold you accountable at all to anything. Even if you said, hey, I want to do this for 6 months. That way we don't have to do one of these documents every time to do that. That's fine. But it holds you. We are not representing you. Me and my team will not be representing you in anything. And it doesn't hold us accountable to also represent you in anything, which is also important for us, because there are weirdos out there, and there's people that definitely is not worth it to represent because they're not good people. And we're not going to represent people that are not good people. So I think it's a win for us now, and it's a win for our clients, in my opinion. So they get a chance to basically interview us, right? This is an interview. It's on the contract front's like, hey, walking in a door and being like, yeah, the job's yours, here, start. Like, you know, you can see somebody's resume, but you want to interview them, right? And that's where I think this whole thing is getting scary, and you're going to see more agents take advantage of it. Hey, this is the law, this is the process, you got to do it. And they're going to assume it and almost put the pressure on you to do it when they're not necessarily wrong. It is, but you don't have to sign a contract with them. Especially not a lengthy one. It can literally be a one-day showing, touring. It can be a one-day buyer's rep agreement as well. But again, I kind of stay away from that buyer's rep agreement. I don't like it. And then that way, hey, listen, you know what? I have this touring agreement. We go see on the 4th house. You call me back 2 weeks. We go see on the house. Like, you know what, Stephen? You've been great so far. I would like to put an offer in, right? And along the way, right, we're going to tell you, hey, by chance, if you do want to work with us, here's how it's going to play out, right? Here's how it's going to play out if you do want to put an offer in, right? We will have to sign a buyer's rep agreement. We cannot put an offer in for you without that. But here's how everything's going to work, right? It'll just be for this house, right? So it doesn't hold you accountable to working long term with us. It's going to be for the fee that we agree upon, and we're going to agree upon how that is paid. If we are going to ask the seller to pay that, which is probably going to be 99% of people. And, you know, sometimes the seller now just counters back and says, we're not going to pay it. You have the option. Well, do you want to accept it and pay it, or do you want to move on to another house? So, yeah, I want to kind of get this out there, and I don't think that you're going to see a lot of people, a lot of media, a lot of anything pushing this, because it is not in big real estate interest in order to do this, right? Because real estate is a sales. It is not in the interest of a sales industry for the consumers to know this hack, for the consumer to be like, you know what? I don't want to sign this buyer's rep agreement. I just want to do a one-day showing thing. And you're probably going to have some agents going to say, you know what? I'm sorry, you need to find somebody else. That's fine, right? Probably don't want to work with them anyways, right? I want the chance to get in front of somebody. I want the chance to meet somebody. And this is my job. I feel like my job is to show houses. I got to here to do this. And so it gives me an opportunity to meet somebody and hopefully earn their business is what I would say. That's what we look for, right? We're not looking to say, hey, you know what? We just met you, sign here, and we're going to take your business. It's give us a chance to earn your business. That's what we've been doing. I was really kind of scared about it last week. The video that I made was very, I would say emotional. For me, it wasn't emotional. I was just pissed off. But we figured out a way to feel comfortable about what we're doing, how we're doing it. And ultimately, I don't think that... I hope there's more people out there in real estate that will do this. I think it'll be good for the industry, good for the consumer. But ultimately, right, in the sales world, it's really in the real estate agent's best interest to hold you to that contract and get you under contract immediately, instead of what they would feel as the term as wasting their time. but you know, it is what it is. That's the chance. So there's an update, guys. If you have questions on this, you know, let me know. I'm happy to answer them, but again, negotiate that. Hey, you know what? I just want to do a 1-day showing agreement or touring agreement. You don't have to sign any sort of lengthy contract, nor do you have to sign a buyer's rep agreement. You can sign those. So tell your friends and family.